What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nani, the episode which is an anime that we're currently watching. Today, going to be talking about the latest episode of Fire Force. Arguably the most hyped episode, maybe the most hyped, but the most exciting episode that we're looking forward to ever since the first half ended. Not maybe it's not the first half, but the episode where Arthur and Dragon fought and Arthur lost that fight. And, they were definitely, I don't know if, if fans were hyping it up or if, actually, I stand corrected. Fans were definitely hyping this up. I don't like to hype things up. I was definitely looking forward to this fight the most throughout the second part of this, season. And the way how the episode started, even, how the narrator, was explaining, on this one corner, we have Dragon. In this other corner, we have Arthur. Both fighters get ready for this amazing fight. Like, even the anime knew that us fans we're waiting for this moment. Like, we don't care how this series ends. We just care about the fight between Arthur and Dragon, and they kind of get right into Dragon's like, I hope we've got instructions the last time we fought because Dragon wants a challenge. Like all these years of living, he wants a challenge before he dies. Before the Great Cataclysm can appear. So he believes that Arthur can be that guy. And in this episode, Arthur, was showing that I've become stronger than I was before. Like his cuts were actually doing damage to Dragon, and I like how this fight was land, water, and air. Like at first, they're on land, even though it's kind of like almost a bit of volcano right there. They're on land, then they're in water. Well, actually, then they're in the clouds first, and then they're in the water for a little bit because with Dragon's punch and everything, his attack, it pretty much spread the water all out. So it's they were fighting everywhere. It doesn't matter where, but like I said, the setup for the fight was odd and cool at the same time. But like I said, I like how Dragon is you've got to show you now. Dragon is getting excited as Arthur has gotten stronger. Now I will say this even though it was kind of odd, I did like the sound. Dragon does get into his other form. I'm not using ourselves with a dragon, but it's like an armored form of his armored dragon. I don't know, just all in black armor. So I'm like, okay, so he flies towards Arthur. They fly towards space. And I gotta say, the sound effect going to space was really cool. And if it's one thing we know about Fire Force, their sound effect in this anime are really, really good. And just that that high it's like a low pitch sound or low pitch, high pitch, whatever you want to call it, going to space was perfect. It was just because that's how it would be going to space, and then you hear nothing for a couple of seconds, and that's just how it is, just hearing nothing while going into space. So, why I thought it was an odd spot. It was pretty cool to hear that sound effect for Dragon to take him there. Now obviously him being human, he can't he can't breathe, and so he does put on the star ring, and yeah, Arthur comes to star ring because like I said, Arthur's his character is as a knight. He is on an adventure, and that's how it is, and so this is where the fight gets good. And I gotta say, like I said, space was kind of off for these two to be fighting because, like I said, I would not expect Fire to be out in space, but I will say the presentation of how space looked with the stars, it kind of was a perfect theme, I guess, for the fight, because if you look at their flashes, like Arthur's blue flash and Dragon's black flash, their colors going at each other right there. It with space, it was the perfect. So basically, Arthur's blue light and Dragon's dark light, going at it for one another in space. It did set the mood right there, so I did like that. Even though it was, listen, space was just, an odd location, but like, don't fight in space, it kind of set the mood, honestly. It was pretty cool. And while they were fighting, you see Arthur's parents like, oh, that's like, oh, Arthur, you know some fighting? It's like, yeah, our boys fight out there. And like, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Arthur's parents, I'm like, I can't stand y'all. Like, I can't say, like, we get at, in the anime community, we despise bad parents. And I gotta say, man, Arthur's parents definitely have to be one of the worst parents I've ever seen. Like, abandon your son, and then have a family, and then leave again. And Arthur doesn't even care. He's just smiling. I mean, that's why they call him the fool. That's what he was called before the beginning of the episode. Like, Arthur, even though he's a good character, he is a fool. He really is. He really is. But in this fight, though, I was surprised that even with, like, Dragon doing his beam attack a couple times, I was surprised to see Arthur lose a limb. Like, he lost a hand. Like, Arthur lost a hand, and, he know that, death is right. It's like, death is coming for both of them. That they both know, hey, man, we're getting ready to die, and so let's make this last attack work for. He's like, alright, man, let's do it, A dragon does his beam attack again, but Arthur goes in. Half his body is destroyed. Like, half of his body is gone. And he still does the attack that I wrote down. Violet Earth Cleaver. Like, pretty much a giant sword slicing through Dragon and the Earth. Like, everybody saw the Earth right there. They saw that blue flash. I'm like, damn. Arthur did this with, like, half a body. Like, his hand is cut off. He's only got one arm, and half of his body is basically like he was basically Frieza when his men found him in space when he's like, he was cut in half. Yeah, but like he just only had one arm. It was still able to defeat Dragon. It was a cool move. Like I said, it was a cool movie. Dragon was like, "Thank you." Like I said, I like it when two fighters in anime have a mutual respect for each other. Try to where it's like, "Yo, let's get us all our all." Like, yeah, let's do it. And they're both having fun. There's a respect factor. And Arthur and Dragon, even though they're on opposite sides, you definitely feel as though there's that respect that they have for one another. And I always love those fights. Even though we're evil, even though we're on both opposite sides, we still have respect because, I know you're a strong opponent, I know you're a strong opponent. Let's make this a good fight. And so both of them were happy with the results. Even though Arthur, his body is just lying out there in space, but he just says to Shira, hey, Shira, wake the F up. You know what I'm saying? Or how long are you going to be being the devil? You are the fucking hero. Now, I'll say this. Overall thoughts with the fight between Arthur and Dragon. I like the fight. It was a cool fight. And they're saying it's like, oh, it was, sorry, allergies. I don't want to sneeze. People were saying it was overhyped. I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was definitely, the best episode in the second half by far. Now, I feel as though it could have been more. And what I mean by that is, like, maybe you could have given us 2 episodes instead of 1. Because I just feel as though a big fight like this, especially, it being hyped up, I feel as though you needed 2 episodes. Like, normally, like, good fights normally last about, like, 2 or 3 episodes. But once again, this goes to my last statement, how Fire Force is feeling rushed. Because I didn't read an article or was a post saying that, they cut some things off from the manga. And now, this final season, it's like, it's being rushed. Like, we have like 3 or 4 episodes left. Like, I don't know what else they can do. I don't know what else they can do. And like I said, good fight. Should have been more. The season is feeling rushed. And, I'm a little bit nervous of how this anime is going to end. Listen, I'm happy with this fight. But like I said, it could have been more. Should have been more. Like I said, I don't like you cutting things off from the manga. Even though I didn't read the manga, even if you didn't read the manga, you can just tell that this shit just feels rushed. Now, great, I probably would have read the manga, and they're saying that this feels rushed. Me not reading the manga, I tell this feels rushed. But yeah, like I said, good fight. Could have been better. Should have at least been in like 2 or 3 episodes. But y'all let me know, guys. Y'all let me know what you guys think. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like I said, what do you think about this fight? I like the fight. Ship it more. I believe it as that. I believe it as that. Listen. Subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. Follow my social media accounts in the description box below. And always remember, Jacob, say everybody, there's no such thing as life. Right here. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.